So you're telling me that they cut the stone, that they basically built a building vertically 450 feet, give or take. I think it's a bunch of bull. I think it's ridiculous. And they cut the stones. And some of these stones are pretty large. But still, even then, it's like, are you that crazy? Are you that dumb? Oh yeah, it's that little shaft with the weird thing in it. Weird little door thing. Queen's Chamber. Yeah, even more stuff. And you can notice, you see it a lot better now, can you? There's hardly a gap in there. You can hardly see the gap in that. How the hell did they do that? Old picture. Probably 70s, 80s. Yeah, some other stuff that I've got in my library. Pictures. It is. And we were probably never meant to see this. Some pictures from the documentary. It is about the chef. And even here, you can see a little bit of the gap. There's hardly any gap there. How did they manage to do that? Perfect. And this is really good precision stone laying. I mean, the granite is much more astounding, because it's much more heavy stone. Like, some pictures, some more like stills from that documentary. Is that chamber? Like, no. Way in hell. But they do that. The granite, one of those big stones. Somewhere in the Great Pyramid. I think this is outside. You can see the stone. There's hardly any gap. There's hardly any gap there. I think this is on the north side. So you tell me, how did they do that? It's on. Can you tell me, how did they do that? How did Stone Age people do that? I mean, this is almost like magic. This is almost as if they used magic to do this. Ridiculous. Most of you don't even have an imagination. You gotta think about it. How did people move stones this heavy? They expect me to believe that that ancient people lifted stone by just dragging it. Let's see if I got another picture here. I should have another picture in here. Another picture in the in a folder called Göbekli Tepe, Mesopotamia, Turkey. By the way, this is the level of technology the ancient Egyptians would have had. Do you know where this is? Do you know where this building is? It is in Ur. It is in the city of Ur. That's the level of technology the ancient Egyptians would have had. Were mud bricks. And you're telling me that the ancient Egyptians were able to use stone techniques. You're telling me that the people who only possessed that level, supposedly only had that level of technology, were able to build something 450 feet long, rough, give or take, with copper and chisel, and just dragging the stones. And people supposed to have that level, only the level of technology to build stuff like this. You know, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. Seriously. You have to explain it to me. See if I can find the other picture. And I want to show something rather interesting. I actually want to show this. This is right here, and I got it. See. Quetzalcoatl. Notice what's in his hand. Bag. What's your God? Notice what's in his hand. And that's at Göbekli Tepe. Notice what is in his hand. Pillar 43. Pillar D. Enclosure D. At Göbekli Tepe. Very interesting. Go back to notice what's in his hand. Notice what's in Quetzalcoatl's hand. Now, this is thanks to Proving Mohan. Thanks to him. Notice what's above Shiva's head. A little bit. Now you can see it. Very interesting. Very interesting. These cultures have similar symbology going on. You call that a coincidence? I think not. That doesn't look like a coincidence. It looks intentional. And mind you, the ancient Egyptians and the ancient Indians actually every once in a while had contact with each other. You know, for the fact that the Indus Valley culture had contact with the Mesopotamians. Yeah, look up the Indus Valley culture if you've never looked it up. It's amazing. That's not really what I wanted to show you. I just happened to be in there, and and I think this is kind of connected with the Great Pyramid, but yeah, it is kind of connected with the Great Pyramid. But I wanted to show that off since it was here. So let's see if I got a picture of Baalbek in here, which Baalbek is in Lebanon, but I have these as reference pictures. The Madonna. Baalbek. You'll see Baalbek. Baalbek should not be in this specific. But here's Baalbek. Here's the stones from Baalbek. There's a pillar. Pillar 43. Pillar 43 that I showed off. It's very interesting, isn't it? Pillar 43. But here's something from in Baalbek. But another one from look at the level of technology. Look at the level of craftsmanship on that. Amazing, isn't it? Do you know how old Göbekli Tepe is? Think 10 or 11,000 BC. That's how old that is. That is how old that is, folks. Ancient peoples were much more advanced than we gave them. Either much more advanced or they were much more ingenuitive. But here's what I wanted to show off. Tell me. How did they move that? Tell me. How did they move that? You're telling me they dragged it? No way in hell. No way in hell did they drag this. That's ridiculous. That's bullshit. That's some grade A bullshit, as George Carlin would put it. No. No, no, no. If they did drag it, then they're awfully stupid. And we're talking about the ancient Egyptians here. We're talking about the ancient Egyptians who knew the difference between empirical knowledge and gnosis. The people who had the level of, at a high level of civilization, the people who highly attested by the Greeks and the Romans, who were like children to the high priest at the time of the Ptolemaic period, to those individuals, basically children. Individuals who were pretty on par with the ancient Indians. You're telling me that they built that they weren't wise enough to come up with better techniques for moving stone. And that's not even get into the whole could they have did they actually do. Let's talk about methods of construction. You're telling me that all they had was man labor? You know, like come on. You can do better than that. No, I think the academics can't explain it. So they make up some bull crap to explain it. As best as they can. They can't explain it. It exists. So someone did it. Someone built it. Someone actually built it. And the academics still can't explain it. Yet we're talking about the ancient Egyptians who gave us, along with the ancient Hindus, this. And if you understand that, it's pretty complex metaphysics. You know what that's showing? Left brain, right brain. Of course, you got Buddha. Of course, Buddha gets all the bitches because Buddha is awesome. Yeah, I just had to throw that in there just to joke around. People so intelligent, you wouldn't even know what they were saying. By the way, that's from a Gnostic work called the Gospel. You can see the Gospel of Thomas. And the Gnostics were not Christians, they were Jews, but they did get their knowledge, some of their knowledge from Egypt. You know, and I was showing you how these people, let's see if I can find a picture of the Mandaka Upanishad. Let's see if I can do this. And you can see it a little bit better. See, and you wonder, yeah, let's see if you understand all that. Yeah, pretty complicated stuff, isn't it? Even a little bit too complicated even for me. I'm sure I can figure it out. You know, talk about the people. We're talking about people. Principle of polarity in Hermetic philosophy is a similar philosophy, which is an Egyptian, a great Greco-Egyptian, ancient Indians And even the ancient Egyptians practiced this sort of understanding of the nature of consciousness, which is two. You know, you're telling me the people who had that kind of complex philosophy couldn't have figured out a better way. Even though that particular is from India, that's basically what the ancient Egyptians also taught. It's just they had a different way of teaching it. Let's see if I can find another picture here. Because they did indeed teach. You notice the serpent on Thutmose III's crown? Notice the serpent there? It's kind of similar, isn't it? They have a similar philosophy. You see Shiva and Shakti. You're telling me people who understood things actually understood how the world worked a lot better, a little bit better, finding out crap that they knew thousands of years ago, couldn't have figured out a better way of dragging stone. Not dragging stone, but transporting stone. And I'm also told they transported that stone over the Nile. How? That stone would probably sink. Or at least I would think it would. I don't know. I'm not an expert. I'm not a boat person, and neither am I a building constructor. But this is, I think it would be very hard to actually drag stone. Like, I have enough common sense to know I wouldn't do it. You know, see if I can find it. Rum. See if I can find it. I want to show off before I run out of time here. If not, then I'll do another video about this. Since I was showing off the mental gender stuff. And what I want to do is show an interesting image. And this will I want you to tell me what you see. What do you think you're seeing? Let's see if you figure out what you're seeing. See, people tell me that the occult is not in religion. So, you know, the occult exists. The occult exists in everything. At least in terms of, like, and even in Christianity, even the Bible. We're not just the biblical prophecy thing would be qualify as a